Is Keeper about to dethrone The Witch as the scariest folk horror movie of our time? This is The Final Cut, your daily pulse in horror. I'm Travis with Horror Movies Uncut, bringing you the biggest updates, creepiest headlines, and underground scares worth screaming about. Let's get into it. First up, Neon dropped a 20-minute extended preview of Keeper, the latest nightmare from the Monkey and Longlegs director Oz Perkins. And if the early reactions are any sign, this might be his darkest descent yet. The preview opened with haunting beauty, faces of serene women dissolving into screaming, bloodied horror. Keeper stars Tatiana Maslany as Liz, a woman heading to a secluded cabin with her partner, played by Rossif Sutherland. What starts romantic quickly spirals into something ancient and unholy. While the Monkey leaned into Rube Goldberg-style kills, Keeper is more restrained and atmospheric. Think The Witch, The Wicker Man, or Midsummer. Maslany shared in a post-screening discussion that Keeper was shot before The Monkey, describing it as cheap and cheerful, filmed on a low budget in Canada. She praised Perkins' love of female-led horror and practical effects, calling the film a full-on collaboration in oddness and terror. We can't share much about the creature yet, but reactions from the previews suggest this thing could join the ranks of horror fame's all-time greats. My question for you guys is, are you ready for another folk horror icon to haunt your nightmares like Black Phillip did? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Next up, in celebration of Shudder's 10th anniversary, horror fans can now grab a Blu-ray collector's edition of 10 streaming originals for only $51, down from the $120 pre-order price. This deal includes some major favorites like Late Night with the Devil, Hosts, The Mortuary Collection, VHS 94, Mad God, Skinamarink, In a Violent Nature, and more. Even better, Creepshow, the complete series, is also up for pre-order at Amazon for just $52. 4 seasons of horror anthology goodness for half the original price. Each disc comes in 1080p with slick artwork, and while only Late Night with the Devil and In a Violent Nature are getting 4K releases separately, this box set is a killer value for physical media collectors. My question for you guys is, which Shudder original are you more excited to own on disc, and are you still buying Blu-rays in 2025? And if you are, you better be going over to Grove, because we have them as well, and you can go on Horror Movies Uncut website, click any of those Halloween specials. They got like 2-4 specials, any of those links, get your Blu-ray on. But let me know if you're still buying them in the comments ahead. And finally, in a chilling real-world development, a high school student in China reportedly suffered a mental breakdown after watching a horror movie during a self-study period at school. The screening, which was approved by both classmates and the teacher on duty, led to severe psychological symptoms later that evening. The student, with no prior history of mental illness, was diagnosed with acute psychotic disorder and rushed to the hospital. Legal proceedings followed, and the court ultimately ruled that the school bore 30% of the responsibility, awarding roughly $1,300 in damages via the school's insurance policy. The name of the horror film wasn't disclosed. Your boy is on the lookout for it. But the case sparked heated online debate about exposing young people to disturbing content, even with consent. My question for you guys is, do you think schools should ban horror films entirely, or should students have more freedom in what they watch? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Today's take: from the eerie preview of Keeper to a real-life psychological horror story in China, today's stories remind us of horror's power, not just to entertain, but to unnerve, provoke, and even overwhelm. Whether you're lining up for Oz Perkins' next cult classic or loading your shelves with Shudder box sets, one thing's clear. Horror season is peaking and the scares are hitting harder than ever. That Spotify poll's asking, which folk horror film do you think Keeper will resemble most? The Witch? The Wicker Man? Midsummer? Something new entirely? And yo, if you got a tip, trailer, or festival scoop we should feature, DM us at HMUNCUT and you might be shouted out on a future episode. That's it for Monday's show and the start of the new week. We'll be back tomorrow with more horror headlines, festival scoops, and must-watch nightmares. Until then, you guys know the drill. Keep the lights on.